There is a feeling that haunts you. It is not a loud feeling. It sits in the back of your mind on Sunday evenings. It is the feeling that your real life hasn't actually started yet. You look at your calendar, your job, your apartment, and even your relationships, and they all feel temporary. They feel like a rehearsal. You were just biding your time, waiting for the actual play to begin. The one where you are the hero, the one where you are finally recognized for the genius, unique, creative force you know you are. But the years keep passing. 25 becomes 30, 30 becomes 40, and you are still in the waiting room, still planning, still dreaming, still waiting for the right time to commit to something real. If this resonates with you, if you feel like a high-potential Ferrari that is stuck in the garage because you're afraid of scratching the paint, then we need to talk. Carl Jung, the great Swiss psychiatrist, had a name for this. He called it the Puer Eternus, the eternal boy.
The man-child. Let's start with the seduction, because being a man-child isn't about being lazy. That's the misconception. The puer is usually charming. He is often incredibly intelligent. He's creative. He's full of life and spark. He is Peter Pan, and who doesn't love Peter Pan? He can fly, he fights pirates, he lives in a world where there are no bedtimes and no taxes. But the psychology of the puer is rooted in a very specific, very dangerous addiction. He is addicted to potential. You see, as long as you don't choose a path, every path is still open to you. As long as you don't write the book could be a masterpiece. As long as you don't marry that person, the perfect soulmate might still be around the corner. As long as you don't commit to a career, you could still be an astronaut or a rock star or a CEO. To the puer, commitment feels like death.
Because to choose one thing is to kill all the other things. So he hovers, he floats, he keeps his options open. He lives what Jung called the provisional life. The provisional life is the belief that this isn't it yet. I'm just doing this job for now. I'm just dating her for now. I'll start my real work when I have more money or more time or when I feel more inspired. But the tragedy, of course, is that life doesn't care about your for now. The clock ticks the same for the dreamer as it does for the doer. And while the puer is floating in the sky of infinite possibility, he is missing the one thing that makes life meaningful: reality. Why is he so afraid to land? Because to the man-child, ordinary life looks like a prison. He looks at his father or his older colleagues, and he sees zombies. He sees boredom. And he thinks, I am too special for that. That is for other people. That is for the sleepwalkers. I am meant for greatness. He identifies with Icarus. He wants to fly high near the sun. He fears the senex. In Jungian psychology, the senex is the old man. It represents structure, discipline, routine, boundaries, and time. The puer hates the senex. The puer hates boundaries. If you try to pin him down to a contract, to a date, to a plan, he panics. He feels suffocated. He creates drama just to escape. He creates chaos just to feel free. He will quit a job the moment it gets boring. He will end a relationship the moment the spark fades and the real work begins. He is chasing the honeymoon phase of existence, forever. But here is the brutal truth that Jung uncovered. The puer is not free. He thinks he is free because he has no commitments. But actually, he is a slave. To his own whims, lack of discipline. He is a leaf blowing in the wind. Now, we have to talk about the part that might make you want to turn this video off. We have to talk about the mother. Jung believed that the puer psychology is deeply tied to a mother complex. Now, don't panic. This doesn't necessarily mean you want to marry your mom. It means you want to remain in the womb. It is the place where everything is provided. The man-child wants the world to be his mother. He wants the world to give him a salary without him having to suffer through a boring job. He wants a partner who will unconditionally love him without him having to compromise. He wants success to fall into his lap because he is special, not because he worked for it. He secretly believes that he is an exception to the rules of gravity.
Other people have to work hard, but not him. He is the golden boy.
And when the world inevitably acts like a cold, hard, indifferent place, when he gets fired or rejected or fails, he doesn't just get sad. He gets indignant. He throws a tantrum. "This isn't fair," he screams. "Don't you know who I am?" He creates a victim narrative. The world is mean. He retreats back into his fantasy world, where he is still the king, waiting for a kingdom that deserves him. But gravity always wins. The Puer Eternus cannot fly forever. This usually happens in midlife. Jung called it the midlife crisis, but for the Puer, it is a crash landing. You wake up one day and you realize that your friends, the boring ones who bought the houses and stuck with the jobs, have built something. They have families, they have careers, they have a body of work. And you? You have a lot of interesting stories. You have a lot of almosts. You have a lot of potential, but you have nothing solid.
You realize that potential is just another word for nothing happened, and the depression hits because a man-child who grows old without growing up does not become a happy child. He becomes a bitter old man. He becomes cynical. He hates the world for not recognizing his genius. It is a heavy fate. It is a tragedy of wasted light. So, if you are listening to this and your stomach is dropping, if you feel exposed, take a breath, because there is a cure. Jung was very clear about how to heal the Puer Eternus. You do not have to kill the inner child. We need his creativity. We need his spark. We need his fire. But we need to bring him down to earth. The cure, according to Jung, is one simple, unsexy word: work. But not just any work. Jung didn't mean go get a job you hate and die. He meant the work of routine. The cure for the Puer is to do the thing you do not want to do, simply because it must be done. It is to stay in the room when the boredom hits.
It is to finish the project even when the inspiration has faded. It is to wash the dishes, not because it's fun, but because you live in a physical reality where dishes get dirty. You have to choose one thing, one partner, one career path, one project, and you have to stick with it through the valley of boredom. Because here is the secret that the man-child doesn't know. The magic is not in the flying. The magic is in the building. When you stick with something, when you push through the resistance, you build something the Puer never has: character. You become real. The Puer thinks that routine kills the soul, but actually routine provides the cup that holds the water of the soul. You don't have to become a boring old man. The goal is not to become the Senex, dry, rigid, and joyless. The goal is integration. Imagine Peter Pan finally coming back to the window, looking at Wendy and saying, "I am ready to grow up, but I'm going to bring the magic with me." Imagine using your creativity, your spark, and your vision, but applying the discipline to actually bring it into the world. That is a master. That is the artist who finishes the painting. That is the entrepreneur who builds the company. That is the partner who stays when things get hard and finds a deeper, richer love on the other side. If you are tired of floating, if you are tired of the provisional life, it is time to land. The ground is hard, but it is also where the flowers grow. Don't wait for the right time. That was 10 years ago. Pick a thing, anything, and do the work. Subscribe for more.